You're gonna give me $100 to sit inside this cardboard box for 2 minutes. I questioned, feeling the booze slosh around my brain. It's that simple, the street performer said with a cocky grin. You last 2 minutes inside the box, you get $100. What if I don't make it to 2 minutes? Then you don't get the $100. Okay, well, what's inside the box? The street performer opened the top of a large refrigerator box and, true to his word, it was empty. So what's the catch? My friend Paul said. There's always a catch. No catch. You go in on your own free will. You get out on your own free will. You put 2 minutes between those moments, you get $100. Let me see the money, I said. The street performer didn't look like he had a spare franklin to part with. He wore a stained, threadbare suit with patches on the elbows and tearing at the sleeves. Atop his head was a busted top hat that looked like it had survived since the Great Depression. His feet were covered in mismatched filthy docksiders that looked like they'd been hauled up from some murky swamp. That said, the street performer pulled a crisp and clean $100 bill from inside his hat. I feel like if I go in, you're gonna kick the box or pour old soup all over me or some stupid stuff that's gonna go on TikTok as pranks or something, Paul said. Old soup? I asked, chuckling. Paul laughed. I don't know, man. Old ass clam chowder or something. The street performer shook his head. No, sir. I'm not a fan of chowder or pranks. And I don't have any idea what TikTok is. I'm just an honest man looking to give away $100 to the bravest and boldest among you. Okay, that's definitely not you, Paul, I said, laughing. Screw you, bro, Paul said. You gonna do it? I asked. Why don't you do it? He shot back. Not bold enough? No, not really. Plus, if I sit down on the ground, I may not be able to get back up. I think I shouldn't have had that last drink. I think I'm gonna call an Uber. Your name's Paul, correct? The street performer asked my friend. Yes. Paul, let me ask you this. Could you use $100? Yeah, definitely. Especially with the amount of money I spent tonight. Well, a big brave man like you wouldn't be afraid of a simple cardboard box now, would you? No, I'm not. Do you have 2 minutes to spare? I mean, how long until an Uber gets here? Paul asked me. 5 minutes, I said. Give or take. Paul looked at the box and back to the street performer before glancing at me. What do you think? Is it worth it? Man, I don't know. I didn't. The alcohol was not only on top of me, but was beating my temples with rock hammers. I mean, the whole thing is so weird. And another thing, he hasn't explained, the downside. I haven't informed you of any downsides because there isn't one, the street performer said with a wink. Okay, this has to be guerrilla marketing for a box company. Or even, do you sell refrigerators? I asked. No, sir. I work for me, myself, and I, the street performer said. Nobody likes having a boss, am I right? Especially if you knew my boss, I said. He makes Attila the Hun look like Daffy Duck. Screw it, man, Paul said suddenly. I'll do it. Wonderful, said the street performer. Only, Paul added, looking at me, if we can go to the strip club after this. Bro, I'm wrecked, I said, yawning. I don't have the energy for this. You don't have the energy to see naked chicks? No, I said, surprising myself. Okay, I might pass out in the Uber. Okay, well, if you're gonna throw up in the alleyway down there, Paul said. Maybe I'll puke in the box before you get in. Please, don't vomit inside the box, the street performer said. It's one of a kind. These things come off an assembly line, Paul said. Hardly one of a kind. I glanced at my phone, let my vision refocus, and noticed the Uber's arrival time. Okay man, you got 3 minutes. You going in or not? Screw it, let's do it. Who's keeping time? Time keeps itself. However, I have a pocket watch to assist us, the street performer said, pulling out a beat up brass pocket watch from inside his suit jacket. Climb in now, I'll count you down. Paul opened the top flaps and placed one foot inside. He was unsteady on his drunk legs, and I started laughing at his teetering. He then flipped me off, steadied himself, and placed the second leg inside. He sat down, shot me a cheeky grin, and said, Before we do this, I want to go to Golden Apples after. That girl Janine is in there this weekend. She's not into you, I said. Yet, he said with a smile, before grabbing the flaps and closing himself in the box. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, the street performer said, watching the second hand on his watch as it span past 12. Go. Paul sat there for a minute before he started chuckling. I couldn't help but join in. What even was this? In a million years, I'd never been able to guess that this is where the night would end. Inside a cardboard box. You start by having a few too many cheap domestics during a ball game and end up probably being hustled by an unhoused guy in a top hat. This is so stupid, I said, barely holding back my laughter. They said the same thing about the dog being launched into space, Paul said from inside the box. Hey, Lieke, how dark is it up there? I asked. Not very, Paul said, his voice muffled by the cardboard. He started a giggle fit again before adding, I feel like a dumbass. If the shoe fits, I said. The box suddenly jostled violently. It went still for a beat before rocking back and forth again. From inside the box, I could hear Paul moving and adjusting. Bro, stop moving, I said. I'm not doing that, he said. 30 seconds, the street performer yelled out. Wait a second. It just got dark, really dark. You can't see the neon light from the bar? No, he said, his voice unsure. Wait, there's some kind of white light in the distance. The distance? I asked, confused. You're inside a box. The furthest distance from you is a foot away. Hey, Mr. Top Hat, is there a screen hidden in here? Like a TV screen or something? The street performer ignored him. What's going on? I asked. There's something approaching the box. Yeah, it's the Uber, I said with a drunken laugh. No, like, there's someone walking towards the inside of the box. Paul said. It looks like a person, but that doesn't make any sense. His voice went from playful drunk to concerned drunk. He was sloshed, but a small part of his brain was still on guard. It told him there was danger around him, but it didn't make any sense, as he was sitting inside a cardboard box on the sidewalk of an empty street. 40 seconds. Paul, stop screwing around. Man, I'm serious. Some guy, I think it's a guy anyway, is walking towards me. Wait, oh crap, there are 2. No, wait, 3? 4? I'm surrounded by shadow figures. Shadow figures? I asked. They look like people, but different. You're messing with me. There aren't any features from what I can see. They all look like silhouettes. Okay, dude, stop. This joke isn't funny anymore. Get out. The Uber is almost here anyway. Shh, shh, he hissed. I think they can hear your voice. I turned to the street performer. Okay, what's going on here? What's the gag? He ignored me. His eyes stayed trained on the pocket watch. 1 minute, you're halfway there, he said. I can hear them speak. It's faint, but what? It doesn't sound like any language I've heard before. Okay, Paul, that's enough. Come on out. Our ride is down the street. We need to... Oh God, I think they saw me, he said, his voice quivering. Who's they? These shadow figures. Oh God, he said, fear lacing his words. I heard him start kicking the side of the box from inside. The cardboard bent with each kick but never broke. Get moving, I said. I'm trying to run, but my body isn't moving. Dude, you're kicking the box, I said. That's not me. My body is frozen, and they're coming. Oh God. Get out of the box, Paul. Come on. 1 minute and 30 seconds, the street performer said. Best time tonight. One of them is coming for me, Paul said in a panic. Oh God, they have eyes, but not like ours. His eyes. I can see it. I can see them. Paul trailed off. You can see what? Everything, he said. They're showing me everything. 1 minute and 40 seconds. The money is as good as yours, stranger. There's fire. It's everywhere. The ground is sizzling. I can feel the heat. It's burning me. It's burning through my pants. Oh God, what is this? Get out of the box now, Paul. The other 3, they're closing in. Their eyes are glowing white. I can see the ends of the earth. The end of the sky. The end of it all. The fires. They burn. Oh God, they burn. Then Paul started screaming. And it wasn't I stubbed my toe screaming, but more, I am being murdered, and the only person who'll ever hear this is my killer screams. Open the box, I demanded at the street performer. Right now. But he didn't move an inch. He kept his eye trained on his watch. 10 seconds remaining, the street performer yelled. 10. I leaned over and tried to rip open the flaps on the top of the box, but they weren't moving. They felt like 1,000 pounds, and I couldn't budge them. I slammed my hand down on top of the cardboard box, and it felt like I was hitting concrete. My hand throbbed, but I tried again to rip open the box, but to no avail. "Push up, Paul," I screamed at the top of the box. "Listen to my voice and come for it. 9, 8, 7. Why are you showing me all this?" Paul said, sobbing. "I don't want to watch them all die." "Paul, sit up. Come on, sit up." 6, 5, 4. The box was jostling back and forth, being shaken by unseen forces. It jumped an inch off the ground and rocked around like bored kids beat it with bats. "They're tearing me apart! They're all tearing me apart!" Paul said with a whimper. I'm above them now. I'm being pulled away. But I can see my body. There's so much blood, so much fire." "Get out." "What's pulling me into the air?" Paul asked, his voice sounding distant. "Tree." "Paul, I'm coming." I threw my whole body at the box, trying to knock it to one side. I hoped to see Paul come tumbling out, but when I hit the cardboard, it didn't move an inch. It clanged like it was made of pure steel. I braced myself on the ground and kicked the side of the box with all my might, and instantly felt like a lightning bolt of pain rush up into my leg and into my spine. There was nothing I could do. 2. I'm so high. I can see it. I can see the... Oh my God. No, it can't be. No. Paul was screaming, and it sounded like it was falling now. "Oh God, the ground, it's opening." From the sidewalk, I looked up at the street performer with hate in my eyes and yelled, "Let him go right now. Open the box." I'm falling through the world. Oh no. Oh God, please let me go." 1. Congratulations, the street performer yelled, raising his hands in victory. The box went still. "Paul, you won," the street performer exclaimed triumphantly. "The first of the night." He calmly tucked his pocket watch back into his jacket pocket. He replaced it with a small dollar store confetti popper. He gently yanked the string of the popper and blasted bits of colourful paper and glitter into the air. It landed all around me. I lunged at the box and tried to rip it open at the top again. This time, the flaps moved as easily as expected, but when I pulled them back, Paul wasn't there. Not a trace of him. The only thing I found was a crisp, new $100 bill. Paul? What the hell? Where are you?" "He's left the box," the street performer said. His 2 minutes were up. I leaped onto my feet, ready to beat the street performer to a pulp. But when I glanced at where he had been standing, he was gone. I hadn't heard him run or catch a cab or anything. Like Paul, there was no trace of him. It was like he'd never been there. From behind me, I heard a car downshift and come to a stop on the curb. There was the familiar whine of an electric window being rolled down, followed by a monotonous voice calling out my name. My Uber had arrived. I looked to where the box was, and it was gone too. All that was left was the $100 bill. "You still want that ride?" my driver said. Did you see anyone with me?" "No," he said. There wasn't a man in a busted top hat and a large refrigerator box standing as where you are right now. No? I think you made a good decision calling an Uber. My driver deadpanned me, adding, if you want to puke in the car, there is a cleaning fee. So if you're gonna yak, just do it now, you know? I felt my legs go weak. I didn't know what to do. My friend was gone, and the man who made him vanish was also gone. I didn't even know what to say to the police. Are you coming or what? This is my busy time, come on. I looked down at the $100 bill and something caught my eye. Instead of the Benjamin Franklin's face staring back at me, someone had scrawled a note. I picked up the note and held it close to my face. I'd know that handwriting anywhere. It was Paul's. The note read, I've seen the end. You don't make it. Come on, man, hurry up, my driver asked. Yeah, I'm coming, I said. That was several hours ago. I've been sitting at my kitchen table, staring at the $100 bill. I'm not sure what to do. My mind is mush, and it has nothing to do with the alcohol. I am at a crossroads, and I don't know where to go. I don't know what to say to Paul's family. How do I even begin to explain this? I keep thinking I'm having a nightmare as I sleep one off, but I'm not. I'm sitting stock still in my kitchen as the first rays of the sun turn the black sky purple. There is a vice around my heart, a profound loss for my friend and fear for the message he left behind.